So I'm gonna be 30 in 30 days. And I wanted to do a video challenge where I make a video every day about 30 lessons I've learned in the last 10 years of being a chaotic 20-year-old. So if you're in your 20s feeling chaotic, maybe this series will help you not make the same mistakes that I did, or if you've already made some of these mistakes, you don't feel as alone. So here we go.
As long as we are watching the Friday, we'll be safe from the devil's choir. I stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling. I said I love you forever. We can make it together.
You don't need a professional studio to make professional art. I've been a long-time consumer of YouTube, and something I've always found comfort in is watching professional artists in their professional studios that are very worked in, aesthetically pleasing, visually just so beautiful, and I just wanted that life so bad. I wanted to wake up, make art, go into the studio. I just wanted that so stinking bad. But that's not gonna be real for everyone. A lot of these artists have been doing it their literally entire lives and have worked up to have this studio. And so I think that thought of just like being in a professional studio outside of my home was what I needed to start taking art seriously, or to the next level, or for my art to just reach the next level, which is so silly because the only thing that can make you a better artist is if you just keep practicing. And I was just so fixated on the studio part that the art, like practicing my art and becoming like a better artist, didn't sit on the back burner, but it just like wasn't even a thought in my head. My thought was like, the art that I make is the art that will be forever. Like I'll always be making this type of art. It's never gonna progress. It's just what I make. But there's so much more into being like a good artist than just shitting out something and just saying it's a beautiful piece of work. No, I've worked very hard now to have a lot more skills, and I didn't need a professional studio to do that. Over the last 10 years, I've lived in so many different places and had so many different areas where I would have to create art that weren't a professional studio. When I was 19, I moved from Kentucky to Seattle, and for a long time, I was just living out of my car. I've lived out of my car in plenty of cities, but Seattle mainly was one where I lived out of it for like a few months. And what I would have to do is I would look up coffee shops that stayed open super late, and I would take my watercolors, my sketchbook and everything, and I would just go sit in this coffee shop for like 8 hours. I would just refill the same cheap coffee, drip coffee, and I would just paint for hours, and that was my studio. And it's kind of a vibe because you get the nice like coffee shop vibes, you get the ambiance. And I was not afraid of, you know, being in front of people painting or like self-conscious about it. I just needed somewhere to do it, and that was the only option I had. So anywhere can be a studio, as long as you're making art somewhere. I'm 30 now, or I'm gonna be 30 in 30 days. And I live back with my mom.
Do you like this band?
And it was the best decision ever. I make art anywhere in this house that I can. You know, I switch from painting in my room to painting in the basement to painting in the living room, just wherever I'm feeling, and I love it so much. There's something about painting in your room, sitting on the floor and painting in your room, that's so nostalgic, makes me feel like a kid, that I love it. I have no issues with, you know, not having that studio that I always wanted. And honestly, the thought of having to drive and go to the studio making all my work and then coming home and not having any of my supplies to make art sounds terrible. I live, breathe my art 24/7, so if it's not in my home, I would lose my fucking mind. Yeah, I would not like that. I would not like that at all. So, if you have anywhere, wherever you're living, whatever your situation is, you can make it work. Don't fixate on, you know, the nice things that other people may have. Everyone's circumstances are drastically different, and we have to play with the cards that we're dealt with. And, you know, it might be shitty right now, but if you work hard and you keep a good attitude, who knows where that'll bring you in weeks, months, a year, years, you know? So just be creative and make the art that makes you happy, and other good things will come.